Mastercraft Boutique Ghostboxes presents the Heaven's Gate Westboro device, a radio button hijacking tool. So what I've got here is a CD4066 CMOS driven quad analog switch. It is being slaved, I guess that's how you say it. The chip's being slaved to the Arduino. Now what's cool about this, it looks like the Arduino's just popping off these lights. But what it's doing is it's controlling the chip, and it's opening and closing the switches same way as if you had a mechanical switch that you were just, it's doing that electronically by putting a semiconductor between those two pins, and when that semiconductor is energized, it shorts the mechanical gap. So the idea is that we put those on the back of buttons for radios that you couldn't hack or you couldn't sweep. It's not VT. So in this mode, basically it's just pushing the up button. Up, 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 up. Go up, 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 up. We can change the speed on that. Make it slow. Super fast. You make it go so fast it looks like it's on all the time. So he's going. And at that point, you're basically just like a regular hacked radio, right? It's just scanning up one direction, gets to the top, and the radio loops back to the beginning, keeps scanning up again. So you want to switch channels, push this button here, boop. It just pushed the band button on the radio, and now it's scanning up on the FM instead of the AM. So that's a mode we have. Another mode we have is turn that switch on, and the timing of the pushing of the button becomes random. So that's pretty cool. Kind of get a skip and a stutter. Some of those are so fast, it's hitting that button a couple times that it looks like it's on for a second, but it's really just popping the switch a few times real quick. And go back to standard timed mode. Got another switch here. This changes a program. Turns on the band jumper. So you're scanning up, you hit the band, and then you're back to the AM, you scan up, scan back to the FM, hit the band up, scan back and forth between the two different AM and FM bands. So that's pretty cool, right? You can do that with the random time on. So that's mode 1. That's the red mode. And put the different programs on a pot. I divided the value up, so when I go to a different value, it goes into a different program. That's the green mode. That does everything that red mode did, except for that is your down scanning button. Down scan with random time. Down scan, jumping forth between AM and FM. Like a digital coin toss. AM, FM, AM, FM, AM, FM, AM, FM, AM, FM, AM. So that's what that dude does. Turn these switches off, go back to standard mode. You could leave it in that mode, but it would engage something in the next program. So the third, blue mode. Blue mode is a combination of up scan, down scan, and band jumping. Now this one's in a random interval for loop, so it won't change the controls until it gets done with the loop that it's doing. You can put this one on a random time instead of just your speed. So back and forth between the two bands, going up one, down the other, down one, up the other. Pretty dope. And this was an idea I had like 5 or 6 years ago when I first started trying to build ghost boxes. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I came up with an idea. Basically, it was all randomized using binary counters and decade counters going into AND gates, exclusive OR gates, flip-flops, and firing off these LEDs. And at the time, I couldn't find a solid-state relay or an opto relay that would switch fast enough, it seemed like, to do what I wanted it to do. And a few years later, I discovered this guy, this 4066, and he's done a lot of cool stuff. I've put audio through him. I've put raw voltage through him. I put sweep circuits through him. I've never tried switching buttons on the front of a radio before, but I had a guy at work that was asking me how to do something. I was like, I don't know, try a 4066. He tried a 4066 and it worked. He was triggering buttons on a drum machine, so hopefully this will work. I just need to put the 2 poles of each switch onto the back of the mechanical switch and hope that it actually closes the switch like it's supposed to and the radio starts bouncing around.